8-68. Consider the equations y equals x squared and y equals 2x minus 5. Letter A. On one set of axes, sketch the graphs and label the intersection. We can sketch these. We'll do our y equals x squared in red so it stands out. There's our vertex. And we will just make it symmetrical across our y-axis. And now we've got our parabola. And then the second one is just a line, y equals 2x minus 5. So our y-intercept is at -5. We're going to rise 2 and run 1. So now when we connect those, right? There's no intersection point. So it says label the intersection. There is no intersection. Okay, now it says use algebra to solve the system of equations. Well, if they both have a y, right, let's just set them equal to each other. We're going to have an x squared is going to equal 2x minus 5. I'll move everything over to the same side because it's quadratic. So x squared minus 2x plus 5 is equal to 0. And it will not factor. So we're going to need to use the quadratic formula. We know that a equals 1, b equals -2, and c equals 5. Here we go. X equals a -2 plus or minus the square root of -2 squared minus 4 times 1 times 5 all over 2 times 1. And let's see what happens. We've got the opposite of -2 is 2. Inside our square root, we should have 4 minus 20 all over 2. That's 2 plus or minus the square root of -16. And square root of -16, when we take it and we break it down, right, that's going to be like saying the square root of 16 times -1. So it's the square root of 16 times the square root of -1, which would be 4i. So we're looking at 2 plus or minus 4i all over 2. And then I can't remember if we've talked about this already this year or not, but if I have 2 terms in the numerator and 1 in the denominator, I can split this apart and give each of my terms in the numerator their own denominator, right? Just like that. And then I can reduce it down to get 1 plus or minus 2i. So that is what our x value should equal. If we have 2 solutions, right, we've got one that is 1 plus 2i, comma, something, and we have one that is 1 minus 2i, comma, something. We still need to figure out what the other ones are going to be. Let's just take our expressions and plug them in. Let's say y should equal 2 times 1 plus 2i minus 5. That would be 2 plus 4i minus 5, or -3 plus 4i. And our other solution, we would just put in y equals 2 times 1 minus 2i minus 5. And I believe we should get -3 minus 4i. So there's our solutions. Yuck, right? Those are not very pretty. So it says discuss your results with your team. What could these solutions mean? Well, think about our imaginary numbers, right? We don't see them intersecting in the real plane, but if it came off the paper, if you watch the video from yesterday, hopefully you kind of see what's actually happening. Okay, so since these, if we turn them into like 2-dimensional graphs, you could see, where we have a real dimension and an imaginary dimension, it would make more sense there. Don't worry, just make sure that you understand how to do the mathematics for right now. So this last part is just a math notes box. Feel free to read through it. You do need to know some of the stuff from this, but we've already talked about everything in here. So make sure you're looking it over.